Joining me now is Canada's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Ralph Goodale, who has already spoken to the new King of England. High Commissioner Goodale, first of all, always a pleasure to see you again. You know Ottawa as well as anyone as a former cabinet minister. You met with King Charles and you spoke with him. Can you tell us what he said about his mother and the monarchy and Canada?
Well, obviously he is grieving very deeply. For us, in some distance removed, we're interested in the constitutional succession and all of those important legal and constitutional things. But for King Charles, this is his mother, and that is a deep personal loss in anyone's life. So clearly, there's a sense of mourning and genuine loss, and enormous respect for this remarkable woman that was so dominant in the lives of so many people for so long, and was always known for her dignity and her courage and her decency and her basic message of hope about the future.
It's such a intricate process, these 10 days leading up to the September 19th funeral. The new king, of course, has duties all over. Can you give us a sense of Canada's role? You have said Canada will have a prominent role at the funeral. What role will that be?
Well, there are several dimensions to it. There's the cortege that will be carrying the late Queen's body. There's the lying in state in Westminster Hall. And then there is the funeral itself, state funeral at Westminster Abbey. The Queen was the honorary colonel of a number of military regiments in Canada, and the Canadian military will be participating in those various stages as they unfold this week. The presence of the Canadian military in London will be second only to that of the United Kingdom itself. The Queen was also honorary commissioner, or commissioner-in-chief, I believe was the correct title, of the RCMP, and she often paid tribute to the Mounties and the way they looked after her when she was in Canada. So the Royal Canadian Mounted Police will be visible in the cortege and the other proceedings. The official Canadian delegation is really limited to 3, as it is tightly limited for all countries. And the 3 being the Governor General, the Prime Minister, and the High Commissioner. According to protocol, those are the 3 official mourners. There will be additional Canadians in Westminster Abbey, including the military contingent, but other Canadians as well. But the palace, Buckingham Palace, that's in charge of all of these administrative arrangements, is keeping a very tight rein on the numbers of additional people for all countries. And you can imagine the challenge in limiting the numbers of heads of state or people in the delegations of heads of state coming from Europe, coming from the United States, coming from literally virtually all 190 countries in the world. So I don't envy the palace officials who have the task of trying to be fair in the allocation and allow everyone to say a proper goodbye, but yet having such tight limits on numbers. They're expecting over 3 million people in that area between Whitehall, Trafalgar Square, Buckingham Palace, and Westminster Abbey, and the Parliament buildings. So you can imagine the kind of logistical issue that this is.
Okay, just High Commissioner, so it's going to be the High Commissioner yourself, obviously Mary Simon, the Governor General, the Prime Minister. The leaders of the official opposition will not be there as the wish. But what about, just very quickly, former Governors General and or former Prime Ministers, Mr. Chrétien, Mr. Mulroney, Mr. Harper, will they at all be able to attend?
We are waiting for further direction from the palace in terms of how much flexibility we have to add. And the people that you mentioned are obviously very, very worthy, very anxious to attend. as would be natural. All of those former prime ministers had very important connections with Her Majesty. So Buckingham Palace is sorting this out with Rideau Hall, and they, I'm sure, will be as generous as they can be, but we do not know the final arrangements yet.
Right. High Commissioner, I hope we have many more conversations in these very important, critical days ahead. Canadians are seized by this, as millions of people around the world are. The High Commissioner to the UK, who's very busy, Ralph Goodale, thank you for taking the time to speak with us, sir. Always a pleasure.
Glad to join you. I wish it could be under more joyful circumstances, but I think all Canadians are feeling a very fond affection for Her Majesty. She left a strong impression on our lives, and it was a positive one.